Most fights are over before they even start. There are no victims, only volunteers.
When I come around, got the whole thing wobbin', wobbin', wobbin'. When I come around, got the whole thing wobbin'.
Happy New Year, guys. We'd like to thank these guys for their comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content.
Who is Zod? How is he different from other apostles? Why does he serve Griffith? What's his role in the new band of hawks? And is he Guts' father? These questions and many more will be answered in today's video. Nosferatu Zod is one of the most powerful apostles in the world of Berserk that we've seen so far.
Yeah.
From the beginning of the series, he has been this awe-inspiring being that drove not only fear, but such a noble character that you really don't know what side he stands on. And we're here to discuss his purpose in the manga and, give you guys a better insight as to what is his true intent in this whole series.
So far, from what I've seen about Zod, is that he has a true appreciation for mastery in fighting.
Yes.
He can appreciate, or he shows appreciation of his opponent's skill level. And he's unlike many of the other apostles that we've seen, where they have a bloodlust. Well, I mean, he does kind of have a bloodlust, but he prefers to be matched with an equal opponent because just for the thrill of the fight, really, that's his passion.
Yes, he doesn't choose to fight weaker opponents at all. As a matter of fact, he hates it. He doesn't rape, he doesn't kill or eat humans like other apostles do. The first time we were introduced to this badass character, we saw him killing a bunch of soldiers that were under the command of Guts.
So when Zod and Guts first met, Zod made a prediction. He told Guts that when Griffith falls, he's basically going to suffer a similar fate and die. So that implies that even apostles have some knowledge of causality. It did turn out in the end that Zod's assertion was inaccurate, and he did mention to Guts, he's actually really surprised that he survived. But it shows us, they are more aware of what's taking place in that world than the humans. Also, when Zod first saw Griffith and he saw that he was wearing the Behelit, he knew that Griffith was destined to be the fifth member of the God Hand, and because of that, he left him alone. There's a whole lot more amiss than the humans are aware, and it kind of shows us the real power and the insights that not only God Hand members, but also apostles have in the world of Berserk. So why would Zod serve Griffith? Well, it kind of goes back to the point that we made earlier on about him being somebody that can appreciate mastery in fighting. And since Griffith was pretty much the first person to defeat him since he became an apostle, he's kind of in awe of him. This ties into what his role is going to be in the newly formed Band of Hawk. He is one of the leading generals in Griffith's new army.
We believe that Zod is a prominent character in the series because he's being used as a marker to show the strength and growth of Guts.
Yeah, to show Guts' progression throughout. Because the second time that they met, Zod kept remarking on how much Guts' skill level had improved since the last time that they fought.
Yes, they fought again on the Hill of Swords, and it was a whole different battle compared to the first time they actually fought toe-to-toe. Now, Guts faced off against him, and we saw that he was utterly defeated despite being able to wound this guy.
Yeah.
And Zod said to him that he was the first human to do this in over 300 years. So that's to tell you the significance in his strength at the time. Mm-hmm. Now back to the Hill of Swords battle. Zod could not even defeat Guts in his regular human form and went into apostle form soon after because Guts has grown so much. Mm-hmm. The third significant time we saw these characters together and they had any real interaction was when they met up to fight against Ganeshka. Now, in this point, both characters were shown to be, being defeated by this all-powerful apostle, and it was up to Guts and Zod to team up together to actually inflict some serious damage on this guy. Now, again, this shows that it's kind of like a comparison of how strong these characters are together.
I think also featuring Zod kind of blurs the lines a little bit, because here we have an apostle who has some kind of moral compass, is actually somewhat noble, and we see him working alongside our hero, or the main protagonist in the story, to further along mankind's cause, kind of, In a way, he doesn't seem like such a bad guy.
But we also talked about how the God Hand could actually be using guts as an ultimate weapon.
Yeah.
So, in a way, both of those guys are being used, and it goes to show a comparison as to how their loyalties are shifting towards what the God Hand may want.
Yeah, exactly. That's true. That's a really good point. This is what I'm saying. The lines are becoming a little bit blurred, because here we are looking at an apostle, and we're actually thinking, oh wow, he's kind of noble, he's kind of honorable. You know what I mean? It kind of throws you off a little bit.
Yeah. So going back to everything, I believe that the next major encounter that Zod and Guts will have will be to the death. And whether it's the death of Guts or Zod in this part, most likely it would be the death of Zod, just to show the final growth and achievement of Guts. He kind of takes the mantle from him and moves towards his true end game, which is fighting against Femto. Now, I'll say this. If Zod dies at the hands of Guts or Griffith is left to be determined, because both characters did encounter him the first time as well. So it may be a situation where Guts and Femto are fighting and Zod comes in and gets impaled or destroyed. Or, Guts might actually kill Zod, but, Zod in his dying breath says, you've really shown the true growth.
Because I think that's been his quest, right? He's just there searching for the ultimate opponent.
Yes, and he's done everything to do that. The only people he respected so far was the Skull Knight and Guts, and then Griffith too, because he's like, in over 300 years, I've had to meet two men who were able to wound me in a single day. This is wow. Mm-hmm. Okay, and finally, the biggest thing we need to talk about is Zod related to Guts in some way? Is Zod Guts' father? Now, the simple answer to this is no. And this is why we believe this. If you think about the whole scenario with how Guts came into being, it makes no sense that Zod could possibly be his father. The reason for this is, as we said earlier, Zod is a very noble character, despite him being an apostle. There is no way he would have left his son and girlfriend or mistress for dead and allowed them to suffer like that. Because despite what a lot of us may think, apostles actually still retain some of their human traits and characteristics. An example of this is what the Count showed when he was told by the God Hand he should sacrifice his daughter to regain his power. We saw that he struggled with this choice for a long period of time, so much so that he ended up getting sucked back into hell, or the abyss, so to speak. So with all that, it shows that apostles have the ability to care for other people despite themselves. And with that being said, there's no way Zod would actually impregnate someone and actually go through all that to not then care for them. Because again, we said Zod, unlike other apostles, doesn't crave to eat human flesh or just kill and pillage and rape for no reason. So, no, Guts is not Zod's son. What Guts is to Zod is a challenge, a possibility for him to meet his true end game, which is to die at the hand of a great warrior. Hopefully, with that being said, it clears up some of the theories out there that state that Zod may be related to Guts somehow. If it's possible, maybe later on it might be a big reveal, but it just won't make any sense, honestly. It just doesn't go with the story, and if that happens, I will be very shocked if it actually is revealed that Zod and Guts are related by blood. So, you guys tell us what you think. Do you think Zod's fate is to die against the hands of Griffith or Guts?
Thank you so much for tuning in and checking out our video. If you haven't already liked it, hit the like button right now. And don't forget to check out the description box. We've got it completely filled out with information and videos that you do not want to miss. Leave your comments and questions down below. Subscribe. Over and out.